Hi guys. For Article 5, I found an article on moshcam.com, and the title of it was "What Does It Mean to Go Mainstream?" And so this article kind of explained how different groups and artists like Nirvana, Kings of Leon, and Arctic Monkeys, how they went mainstream. And so it explains how some artists gain so much appreciation and attention that they have to step out of that underground bubble. And so the article described this like crossing over to mainstream as the moment that an artist switches from alternative to popular music. And so, I kind of touched on this a little bit in my last one, but it's like many fans think that artists abandon their roots and change their sound when they go mainstream. And it's always questions that arise about authenticity and, whether they're a sellout and, stuff like that when they become popular artists. And so, the article kind of pointed out that when an artist goes mainstream, it's less of them changing their sound, but it's more so them releasing safer music. And so it closes out by explaining progression and regression. And so some artists progress by constantly experimenting and changing their sound, and others regress by moving back into safer territory to be more palatable for more people. And so I thought that this was an important article because it helps me to make connections between underground artists and mainstream artists. And it kind of makes me think about some of my favorite artists now and whether I think that they've progressed or regressed. And like, for example, this R&B artist, Her. I listened to her back in like 2015 and 2016 before she went like really, really mainstream within like then probably like the next year. And so I found that I thoroughly enjoyed her music, before she became like completely mainstream. And I don't hate it now, but I think that she kind of makes her music now to be just a little bit more palatable for more people. And so another example I had was Doja Cat. She was also one of those like SoundCloud artists, and she was always known for making like very, very different and strange and like crazy pop music. And so she's known for that, and she's continued on with that even though she's like had increasing success lately. And my last example is Billie Eilish, who I think has done a great job of kind of staying consistent regardless of her, fame and, her status. And so I think that this article is important for my senior project because we're going to be working with underground artists. And I think it's important to understand the process of going mainstream. The terms progression and regression, and kind of understanding that some artists do try to play it a little bit safer, once they become or come to a certain level of success, they stop experimenting as much with their sound. And so, many times when underground artists go mainstream, they lose a little bit of their previous fan base just because, they might release something that the previous fan base, people, who have been there, is something that they're not used to. And so once again, authenticity is very important. And I think it's important for artists to constantly experiment, even if, regardless of their status, regardless of where they are in their career. And so I just thought that that was a really important kind of like take on underground artists and moving to mainstream. So thank you.